Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Vinland Saga. Last time around, Pain. Always a fun time with an episode called Pain, but sure enough, the army of Ketil, as loose as the word army is, retreated. Ketil was injured in the battle, but he was not captured nor killed. Canute was able to fend off an assassination attempt by Thorgil, but then the rest of his men came over, so Thorgil had to retreat. Arne died, so that's sad. That was incredibly sad. She woke up just long enough to say thanks for all the help, and then that was it. She was out. And Thorfinn basically told Leif, hey, you keep the engine running, keep the engine running on the car, keep the boat ready, because we are going to leave. We are going to leave for Iceland, but Thorfinn is going to go talk to Canute to try to prevent more bloodshed, as he hopefully just captures Ketil. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. A reunion between Thorfinn and Ketil, or Canute. I'm losing my mind. It's first thing in the morning. I'm tired. I haven't had my caffeine yet, so yeah, that's pretty much where we are. We're in the last 4 episodes of the season, and then we're pretty much on break until season 3 comes out, so I'm ready. Though. I want more. I want so much more of this, but we're going to enjoy these last 4 episodes of this season. Like always, the reaction is down in the description. No. Hold on. Let me start that over. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. There we go. So why don't we just jump right into this episode of Vinland Saga. Here we go.
The sun, it burns the night.
I mean, see, it's a problem because, I assume if Almar goes, they'll let him in. They know who he is. I hope. Here's the thing. Does Canute think, because Canute hasn't seen him, Canute hasn't seen him in 4 years. The last time they saw each other is when Thorfinn gave him that scar. The two of them looked a whole heck of a lot different. So Canute doesn't know everything that Thorfinn has gone through, honestly, he might be thinking, even if it's he's a retainer on the farm, so some things are different, he's not really a warrior anymore. But even still, it's he's probably thinking, he gave me this scar because I killed Askeladd. It's entirely possible that he's going to try to kill me and complete some sort of revenge because of Askeladd, But then again, he doesn't, he's not overly concerned, he's just not seeing him, He's just not going to talk to him, basically. It's interesting with this episode, because you have this sort of theming of, I feel like you have this theming, and granted, this is the theming of the whole show, but it's this theming of good men, basically. Because you have Thorfinn, you have Einar, you have Almar now, and you juxtapose them with, the Vikings. You've got all of Canute's men, you've got Thorgil. It's you juxtapose them, but even more so, juxtapose them with, his mother, who's saying, no, we need to go out there and just get our heads cut off. And it's just what? We can't just surrender? But it's also interesting with this episode, comparing them and their growth as young men to Canute, who, if anything, this episode is showing more and more, this goal of his is too much, This goal of his is too much. Here's a comparison. the difference between Thorfinn and Canute is the emptiness, you know? Thorfinn became an empty man. And while his goal now is to create, essentially almost the same thing, is to create this paradise free of war, free of slavery and pillaging and violence and death. It's almost identical to what Canute wants to do. But there is a difference of Thorfinn wants to take the misfits and take them to paradise in Vinland, whereas Canute wants to change the existing world, you know? And that's an interesting comparison, you know? It's exactly what they said, you know, was this episode 8 of this season, where Sverkel says, you know, if you're an empty man, that means we can, you know, you can put anything in, basically, you know? It's so much easier to start fresh when you're completely empty, you know? And that's exactly what Thorfinn was, and now Thorfinn has grown, you know? He's become a farmer. He's become a good man. He's become a non-violent man, you know? Like, it's all... Like, he's done that. Whereas Canute, in his quest, first he had to change himself. Which he did, but that was difficult. That was at the cost of Ragnar's literal life, you know? So if anything, like, Canute is sort of the same way. Like, they are both reflections of the world they wish to create, you know? They are both reflections in that Thorfinn is, you know, throw everything out, start over, you know? Sometimes that has to happen, you know? Sometimes that has to happen. I mean, like, this is the weirdest thing, but I don't know why it just sprang into my mind. Like, developing a video game, sometimes, like Metroid Prime 4, you guys know about that? I don't know, just follow me on this. But they announced that so many years ago, and like 2 or 3 years into development, they basically announced, hey, this is going to take a lot longer because we had to start over, you know? So they started over from scratch, but now they're finally getting somewhere, and, you know, with any luck, it'll be as brilliant a game as the original games, you know? But that's the thing, is that's exactly what Thorfinn is, whereas Canute was something. He didn't throw everything out and start over again. He changed, but is still holding on to his existing self, his existing persona, his existing life. And now, because of this, you know, with the change that came at the cost of a life, in his case Ragnar, now he's looking for the world's change. And the world, if it's going to change, it's going to come at the cost of many, many lives, you know? And you wonder which one is better. Probably the one that doesn't kill people. I would say Thorfinn's probably the one, you know? I mean, it's sort of the same thing of, like, you know... Well, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that point. Hold on. Let me just... Here, let me throw that point out and just start over on this point. But you know what I mean. But that's the thing, you know? And, hey, that's now the thing with Ketil's family. It's like, you know, they have to surrender. They're going to be banished from Denmark, basically. Where are they going to go? And it's like, well, you can start over. You can start... And that's why I'm looking at Almar, like, man, I wish we like knew him better. Like, you know, I wish our characters knew him better to be like, hey man, we're going to Iceland and then we're going to Vinland. Like, you want to come? You know? Because it is a thing of like, yes, after this, especially because of their defiance of the king, it is going to lead to them being, you know, destitute. They will have nothing. But Thorfinn and Einar had nothing, and look at the two of them, you know? They've managed to thrive these past 4 years, and now they're moving on, you know? Now, yes, they are lucky enough to have someone like Leif, and have a village like Thorfinn's village back in Iceland to go to, but still, you know? Still. I mean, any of them any of them could, like, get jobs somewhere, not even as slaves, but you could get a job somewhere, you know? Like, Ketil, look, I mean, Sverkel was working until he physically couldn't. Ketil could go and work on someone else's farm. Maybe, obviously not in Denmark, but he could go to England, you know? Go to England, work on a farm. Go to Wales! They're lovely people. They're lovely people. Such important people as Ascled. I don't really know too many other Welsh people, like famous Welsh people. Well, I mean, like, I don't know, Russell T Davies, I think he's Welsh, isn't he? Sea Dog VA, he's Welsh. Go to Wales. Wales is lovely, you know? But that's the thing, you know, you go to France, I don't know, like, you could go and, like, make something of your life, you know? And I mean, even if it's the whole thing of like, well, you know, it's gonna be rough for a while. It's, you know, you're gonna be drained. Basically, you're probably gonna be depressed and sad for a while. It's like, so is Thorfinn. Like, and Thorfinn got better. Now Thorfinn again got lucky. He was on a good farm with a good master for 4 years. Then he had a good friend like Einar. You know, I don't know, man. But that's such an interesting thing, like, just seeing the growth of... It literally is, you know, as we saw with, in Season 1, we see this sort of growth, and even though not even growth of Thorfinn, like, we saw the anti-growth of Thorfinn in Season 1, but we saw the growth of Canute, and now, if anything, now it's swapped, you know? Like, now in this season, we've seen Thorfinn's growth, and now we're seeing Canute's, like, almost anti-growth. Like, he's not growing into a good young man. He's growing into a mass murderer, you know? With these ridiculous claims of paradise, you know? Like, how long... And, because that's the thing, there are some people you can't change, you know? Like, you need, like... Thorfinn's idea works so much better, because, like, you know, we're taking the misfits, the people that don't belong anywhere, and we're giving them a place to belong. These guys, your men, no, they belong here. Because what else are they good for? You know? They're just horrible, savage beasts, basically. You know? It's a shame. It's a shame about the other people. It's a shame about the people that are victims of that, but still, you know? But yeah, but Olmar... that was good that he was the one who had to make the choice as the successor of the farm. Because, I mean, that's the thing. Like, after all of that, Thorgil's like, oh, well, me and, 20 good men, we can go and kill the king. It's like, and then what? It's like, yes, Canute at this point currently does not have a successor. Something he should probably work on. He should probably have a successor, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you kill the king, but I mean, that's the thing is and then what is then, they will face the Jomsvikings Vikings in combat and probably die, but they'll die in a blaze of glory, and it's just like, oh my god, I want to do that, I don't want to do that. That's why I kind of want, actually, I want Thorkel to show up. I want Thorkel to show up and fight Thorgil. Because I kind of want what happened. I want Thorgil to go through the same thing that happened to Torgrim from last season, where his mind just breaks at the thought of actually facing his death to a superior opponent, But Olmar, he made the good choice. And I'm so glad. I really like that Snake was there to be like, yeah, we'll support this, Like, I'm here, I'm going to help you, I'm going to, take you to the king myself, Like, Snake is a pragmatic guy. Like, he's looking at this and is like, this should not have been a thing we did. We should not have fought the king, But he's serving this family as best he can. But now, luckily, Olmar is talking sense, basically, And even the whole thing of like, oh, whose fault is it? Is it Almar's fault, or was the king going to do this anyway? And it's just like, you know what? It doesn't matter. Almar is saying it doesn't matter whose fault it is. This needs to end. This should not have happened, and this needs to end, and that's what he's doing. You can call him a coward, but you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do all of this, you know? Anyway. And then Einar, I'm glad Einar's just, he's just looking out for Thorfinn, you know? He's just there to look out for Thorfinn, but, and I like Thorfinn being like, you know, yes, what happened, you know, this past, 2 days has been really rough. Everything with Snake and Garter and Arnade and Ketil, yes. But there were 4 good years here, you know? And these 4 years at the farm has changed Thorfinn forever, you know? And so it's the least he can do of repaying a bit of that kindness just to help surrender, basically, just to make sure that they can get out of this with their lives, you know, to stop before there's any more bloodshed. But now, because Canute, I get why Canute doesn't want to see Thorfinn, but it's like, no, please, he's gonna take 100 hits. 100 hits, and he's taken hits before. He's taken hits, but 100 in a row? Oh, boy. So, this is going to be rough, I think. We get 3 more episodes of this season. I'm excited. You're excited. I'm just going to make the call that you're excited. And I can't wait to see where we are going from here. But that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Vinland Saga reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later. I pray for the dog.